but 2 last night. The Celtics, they had a 20-point lead over the Knicks in Game 1. That usually means game over for Boston's opponents. Entering this game, they were 40-1 this season when they led by 20-plus points. But what had happened was Boston stopped hitting
Girl,
threes.
that's an understatement. They went, it's not cold, they went frozen.
Icy.
Right.
Yeah. They were in the cold plunge. They only shot 29% on uncontested threes in Game 1. And while that was happening, the Knicks were balling out. 5 minutes left in the third. OG Anunoby hits a wide open three there. He was cooking.
His best game ever in the playoffs. But of course, what you love about this squad is the fact that they all have confidence. OG bending over backwards, making a pass. The ball, this three right here, I was like, whoa, these guys might be able to pull this off.
But how do you not try to close or contest right there on Jalen Brunson?
This was the one that shut me up. Boom.
New York in front. Watch out now. Less than a minute later.
I call it the Brunson Boogie, baby.
The Brunson Boogie, and this was the Brunson burner on Al Horford. New York went on a 45-19 run to take the lead. Boston still struggling to shoot the ball. Brunson chipped in 16 points during that span. Here, though, is the puzzling play for me here.
I'm so mad just watching because these are talented players with advantages. Here you have a post player, the paint wide open instead. Countless times I asked Boston fans, how do you feel? They're like, we're stressed, y'all, because they keep settling for threes when you have the advantage over the Robinsons, the Harts, the Brunsons. Instead, you're shooting threes on a night that you missed the most ever in NBA history.
And having so many shooters around you is what opens up the paint for those driving opportunities.
And so to overtime we go, or should I call it Mikal Bridges' time? Because he struggled a bit earlier in this game, not anymore. Hits that corner three. New York up by 6 there. Now you see him. Now you don't. Jaylen Brown gets it on the wing, starts to drive, and he's fouled. But the foul's called on the floor.
Right call, by the way.
Absolutely.
Before the gather.
Let's take one more look. You can see.
There's the foul, and then there's the shot. Yeah.
Exactly. Sideline out of bounds for the Celtics here. What did we say about Mikal Bridges' time?
Hands, two-way player.
He rips the ball away to end the game. The Knicks go on the road and steal Game 1. That's some highway robbery right there. One more look at that play from Mikal Bridges. Here's Jalen Brunson on the mindset to get the comeback in this one.
Told each other just keep believing and just keep fighting, sticking together, and keep chipping away. Was it going to be a 20-point shot where you can just come back? We just had to keep chipping away possession by possession.
This team has fought all year. You know, it's been a pretty good road team. We've had to endure some things with guys being out, and I think over time that helps you. You build up, your mental toughness and understanding how important that is.
Check out the cover of the New York Daily News this morning. A little Goodwill Hunting. How do you like them apples? Brian, do you believe that last night's performance by the Knicks is repeatable?
No. Not so much what the Knicks did, but I know I'm in trouble now. I'm in trouble with all my Knicks fan friends. Look, the Celtics missed 32 open, clean look three-pointers, and I just don't think that's going to happen again. What I do think is repeatable, what the Knicks have shown they've been able to do for a while now, is win clutch time, because they have the best clutch time player in the NBA. So however they get to clutch time in any game in this series, whether it's by hook or by crook, by missed free throws, missed three-pointers, whatever happens, that is what I think is repeatable. I think they can win clutch time. They've also proven that they can win on the road. They're 4-0 on the road in this postseason, 3-0 in the last series. They win in Boston in Game 1. I don't think they can count on the Celtics having historically bad volume shooting nights. So, but obviously, this is how the Knicks have to get through. They have to steal games here and there. They're 1 for 1 in that one.
Listen, I'm going to give the Knicks a little bit more credit than Brian Windhorst just did. And this isn't because the Knicks gave me a hard time last season in the postseason. Knicks fans gave me absolute hell last postseason. However, there are some things that are repeatable for the Knicks. We also can't act like the Knicks played a perfect game. When you talk about Karl Anthony Towns, he was limited in scoring. Mikal Bridges was 3 of 13. They gave up 19 offensive rebounds. So, 1, the Knicks can play better. But 2, the defensive possession to tie the game in the fourth quarter, it wasn't because the Celtics settled. In fact, Jason Tatum doesn't settle on this possession. OG Anunoby's guarding the ball. Jason Tatum goes over the screen, continues to be an attack. attack mode. Karl Anthony Towns moves his feet, and OG Anunoby gets the steal. This is the possession that tied the game. That defensive effort and defensive energy can be repeated to help the Knicks keep this a competitive series.
Well, we said yesterday the way that the Knicks can win is the law of averages. And I think we took that to the extreme when we forecasted potentially the Celtics missing shots. So I'm even more high on the Knicks because now they have the confidence knowing that we stole one on the road.
Yeah.
We have not just one. Everyone talks about Brunson being a closer. OG Anunoby, 55 out of their 63 points in the second half and overtime were between those two. So they have two closers.
Yep.
You have potentially a better game from Cat. You're returning home feeling like, all right, like game two, whether what happens or not, like we're feeling good, like we can compete in this series. You gave the wrong team, most importantly, the wrong city.
Right.
Life.
The New York Knicks, they went out and got big wings for the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
I'm not saying that this is some sort of proof of the New York Knicks being the better team in this series, but this is why they go out and get those sorts of wings. Also, we harp so much on Tom Thibodeau and never getting out of a drop. I just want to give a little credit to those switches that we've ever seen here for the New York Knicks. And it worked. But Boston, to your point, missed an NBA record 45 three-pointers in Game 1. It's the third quarter that's drawing a ton of attention here. The Celtics attempted a grand total of 1 shot inside the three-point line for the entire quarter. They were outscored 30-23. Here's Tatum on their shot selection.
Obviously, in hindsight, you know, if we could go back, we probably would drop the ball a little bit more because we missed a lot of shots tonight. But, you know, there's a balance. Sometimes, you know, it's a make or miss lead. And then there's sometimes where, you know, you can get a better shot.
Andrea, I hear you're bothered. I hear there's something about the Celtics that's bothering you.
Well, yeah, because when you talk about it, there's a difference between the Celtics in a system or the Celtics settling. Are you playing within system or are you settling for those threes? And that is the biggest thing for me. And when Jason Tatum talks about being able to get a better shot, there were a couple of plays. I know they had some open threes, but there were a couple of plays where they could have went from a good shot to a great shot. And there's a big difference in that.
It's not even just a couple of plays. You have the ball. You have the mismatch. You have Brunson in front of you. You got a foot on him. You have Hart in front of you. You have mismatches with the post, and you're still shooting those threes. Sometimes you wish you had a teammate, because if I were their teammate, I'd be like, y'all, attack, go inside. Look, I absolutely still believe the Boston Celtics are the team to beat. They are the favorite. They've been there. They've done that. They're deeper. People don't talk about Porzingis missing those crucial minutes as well.
Yep.
So if they're healthy, which they're hopefully trending to be, they still should be able to handle business. But you don't play with your food, especially at this point. Yes, it's a make or miss league, but you know what? The system that won you a championship, the league is different. The teams have reloaded. The strategies are more intense. This has been the most fun NBA playoffs we've watched, but also the most physical NBA playoffs. Different factors are into the equation now that I think Coach Joe Mazzulla has to address.
To be fair to Boston, Kristaps Porzingis, he did leave this game with an illness and he did not return. That was a big part of all of this. I've had so much fun in this postseason, and clearly Stephen A, I guess, is having a lot of fun watching us talk about this as well. He has some notes for us, I suppose. He says, wait a minute. I'm watching y'all right now, and I don't like the absence of enthusiasm, of glee about my